If you want to know how to interact with the smart contract from Unity in the easiest and most powerful way, this is the video for you. We're gonna use a very simple Unity 2D scene to demonstrate how to call a smart contract function passing a password parameter. Then in the smart contract, we will check if the password is correct or not, and we will trigger an event with that result. Listening to that event on Unity, and depending on the result, if the password is correct or not, we will open the Moria gates or make the user repeat the process. And by the way, if you don't know the reference, please watch the video about the best film ever made. Because we will use the power of Moralis for the Web3 integration, we could do this process on any chain, but we chose Polygon Mumbai testnet because of free gas transactions. So if we then check on Polygon scan, we will see the verified contract with the triggered events. And yes, I know some of you guys wanted to know how to build on WebGL, so I'm gonna show you how to do this in this video. Alright, so stick with me until the end because we're gonna do this step by step, so following the process will be super easy and smooth, you'll see that. Also remember that you can download the sample project on the GitHub link below, so watching this video you will get this up and running with almost no effort. Also make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch some of my other videos on Unity Web3 programming. And if you want to know something more about me, check this.
What's up everyone, this is David from Barcelona and I work as a Unity content creator at Moralis. I'm also into music, bass here and drums. I enjoy cycling and practicing karate. Cheers!
Alright, so just to summarize, let's see the structure that the video will follow. First, we're gonna set up a Moralis Dapp and get the credentials we need to log into Web3. Second, I'm gonna show you how the project is structured so you have a broader vision before going into specific features. Then, using Hardhat, we will deploy the smart contract which will contain the OpenGates function. After that, we will learn how to interact with the contract from Unity and listen to the events. Finally, we will learn how to build the project for WebGL. Okay, so as I said, we will be using Moralis to integrate Web3 to Unity, and that is because all the blockchain infrastructure is already taken care of, so you don't have to worry about all the complicated stuff. As you will see in this video, using Moralis, you will be able to interact with that infrastructure in a very simple and efficient way. And this is thanks to the single workflow that Moralis provides. Very easy, let me explain. So for example, when a user logs in using a crypto wallet, Moralis will establish a session and will create an identity profile based on that login information. That information will be stored in a real-time on-chain database that will be accessible anytime. This means that the user will be able to get its wallet address, its token balances, and etc. And very important, the database will get automatically updated if the user executes any kind of transaction. What's more, you will be able to subscribe to events that will trigger when that happens or when any other data is getting modified. To speak to the database, you're provided with a nice API and SDKs for multiple platforms that will allow you to get all the information you need from the blockchain in a very simple way. And as GameFi developers, we are thrilled to have a specific SDK for Unity that will let us focus on developing the game itself, reducing the global development time by 80 to 90%. And that not only applies to Unity, because Moralis is cross-platform, so you can benefit from that on multiple other platforms. It is also cross-chain, so you don't have to worry about bridging between chains, and that, being in the Web3 crypto space, is huge. And we have good news, guys, because now you can learn how to build your own real-life Web3 projects, not alone, but with community. So if you sign up here in Moralis.io projects, you will face weekly challenges and connect with Web3 veterans that will help you on the way. What's more, you can even earn NFT rewards while doing so. So guys, you know what to do. Alright, so once in Unity, you will find this Moralis Web3 setup panel with this Dapp URL and Dapp ID information that we need to fill. So to do that, just go to the web browser, navigate to Moralis.io, click on Login. Here you will have to sign up if you don't have an account, so please do that and then log in with your account. And we're going to create a new server. We're going to select the testnet server, and I'm going to call this test or wherever you want. And I'm going to select my region. And we're going to select Polygon Mumbai, okay? Because we're going to deploy the smart contract to Mumbai. And yeah, we're going to use Mumbai for this project. But because Moralis is cross-chain, we could do this on any of these chains. So select Polygon Mumbai, add instance, and here we have our created server. And here on View Details, just copy server URL, go back to Unity, paste it here, and the same for application ID. Paste it here, click on Done, and that's all what you need to set up a Moralis Dapp. So that's perfect. And every time you have a new Dapp here, so if you create a new one here and you want to modify this information on Unity, you just need to go to Window, Moralis, Web3 Unity SDK, and open Web3 Setup. And you could modify the information here. All right, perfect. First of all, under Assets Project, you will find all the assets I created for this particular project, like the scripts and the main scene. So go to that scene if you're not already there, and now we can take a look at the hierarchy. For the authentication to Web3 using Moralis, we're using the new authentication kit that is now available thanks to my colleague Sam and the Moralis Unity SDK team. You will find the specific scene showing its functionality under Assets, Samples, Moralis Web3 Unity SDK, the current version, and Authentication Kit. It is a super powerful tool that will handle the authentication on any platform that we chose to build our Unity project. It is not the topic of this video to know exactly how it works, but take a look at this video of my colleague Sam to learn more about it. For now, what you need to know is that the Authentication Kit has some events that you can subscribe to. So for example, when it connects or disconnects, we're going to execute this. We'll go deeper into this later, but as you can see, we're basically calling Game Manager functions. This is the main script of this project, and it will take care of communicating with the smart contract and activate or deactivate these panels here, depending on the state. But for now, let's hit on play and actually see if we can already log in. So remember, you need to have MetaMask installed in your phone and also imported the Mumbai testnet with some funds in it. So in the link in the description below in the video, you will find on how to do that if you haven't already done it. So with MetaMask on your phone, just scan the QR code. Well, first click on Connect, scan the code, and you will need to confirm it in your device, sign the message, and voila, we are already connected. Good. Before going deeper into the game manager, let's actually deploy the smart contract that we will be interacting with. Remember, you need to have MetaMask installed on your browser with the Mumbai testnet imported and with some test matic in it. Again, check the link that says import Mumbai testnet in the description below if you haven't done so already, and it will bring you to this blog about the topic. Also, you need to have installed Node.js before continuing. All right, let's get into it. Go to your desktop and create a folder and name it as you want. I'm going to name this Moria Gates Hardhat. Perfect. Now open Visual Studio Code and open the folder that we just created. Okay. So now we're gonna execute some Hardhat commands, but no worries because I have some instructions ready for you. So if you go to Unity, under Project, Smart Contract, you'll find instructions here and also some other files that we will need later, like the contract. So yeah, just open the whole, show the whole folder in the Explorer because we will need it, and open the instructions. Now open the terminal And let's execute all these commands. So let's start by installing Hardhat, and we're gonna be copying all these commands and pasting because it's gonna be easier. So this is gonna take a little while. So we're gonna be back after completing. Okay, that was fast. So now we're gonna execute the second to start a sample Hardhat project. So let's hit enter here, another enter, another enter. And here we have the project created. Good. So now it's time to install the dependencies. We're going to install the .env dependency. Perfect. We're going to install the etherscan dependency so we can see our contract, in this case in Polygon scan. Also installing this. I'm going to copy the next one. Also, we need waffle. And waffle, I think, is going to take a while. And after this, we're going to install this one in order to hash the password. You'll see that in a second. Okay, so waffle installed. And now let's install the last one. The last dependency. And with that, we have all the dependencies installed and the Hardhat project created. Perfect. Now we're going to go back to our folder. If you remember this folder inside the project. And we're going to be pasting some information that I have prepared already here. Okay, so if you go to the project, the Hardhat project, you're going to see there's the hardhat.config.js, also the sample script that we're going to be renaming to deploy, and also we have a greeter.sol contract. This is a sample contract. So here in this folder, I have all these already configured and prepared for you. So let's start, for example, for the Moria Gates contract. So if I open the Moria Gates, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go to greeter, rename. I'm going to rename greeter. I'm going to call Moria Gates and I'm just going to paste my contract here. Perfect. I can close this one. And next one will be, we're going to go for the deploy. Okay, so I'm opening deploy. And this is the script that we're going to run, okay, to deploy the contract. So it's this script right here. So I'm going to rename sample script to match deploy. And this one is the already configured one. So I'm going to copy it and paste it here. I can close this one, save. And then after this, I'm going to explain you, all right, what this script does, but let's continue with that. And also, and last, we need to copy the information on hardhat.config.js. Copy here, and I'm going to paste it here. Perfect. So I can save and close this one. And not last, because we need to do also one thing before going to the smart contract, is to create a new file called .env and also go to our folder and let's copy this and paste it here. And I'll show you why in a minute. But let's go first to the contract. Okay, so let's go to the Moria Gates contract. As you can see, it has an event called correct password, a bytes field called magic password, and an owner address. In the constructor, we see that when we deploy the contract, it will need a bytes 32 parameter that will be saved as the magic password. And the owner will be the wallet that deploys it. Then we find the openGates function, which is the one that we will call from Unity. It needs a string parameter, and we make it public without requiring being an owner because we want to call this function also from our mobile MetaMask wallet, which won't be the one deploying the contract. So remember, this is not a production-ready contract. Okay, so what the function does is converting the string parameter coming from Unity to a hash using this function here and comparing it to the magic password. We will then trigger the correct password event passing a true or false value depending if the password is correct or not. Now we can go to the deploy.js script, which will be the one that will take care of the deployment of the smart contract, of the MoriaGates contract. So first, we're using this dependency that we installed to hash this chosen password that we set to Melon, because this is friend in Elvish, okay? So this is the one that we want to be the magic password, the correct password. So then we hash this using this property here, and we got the hashed password. And then when we deploy the contract, we're gonna pass this hash password that it's gonna be a byte. Okay, this is gonna be bytes. So if we go to MoriaGates, this is what the constructor needs, right? So that's perfect. So then when the MoriaGates contract is deployed, yeah, we're just logging some information here for us to know. Then we're gonna wait for the block transaction, okay, for 5 block transactions, and we're gonna automatically verify the contract, passing as a constructor argument the hashed password, as we do here. So with that, we do this here because then on Polygon scan, we will be able to see all the contract information and the events without having to verify there on the website. But for this to be successful, if we go to hardhat.config.js, we see that, well, first we needed to add these dependencies, okay, waffle and etherscan. And then here you see on module.exports that we have these fields here, private key, API key, Polygon Mumbai, that come from this file that we created before. So these are the fields that we need to add now. So we'll start by filling Polygon Mumbai, which needs to be the RPC node URL of the Mumbai testnet. So go to the Moralis admin panel, where we created the server, go to Speedy Nodes, Polygon network endpoints, and here copy the Mumbai Speedy Node URL. Copy it, go back to VS Code, and paste it here. Now let's fill API key, which needs to be the Polygon Scan API key. So go to Polygon Scan, create an account if you don't have one, and under API keys, you will be able to create one. I already have one, but just clicking on Add, you will be creating a new one. So just copy it, go back to the env file, and paste it here. And now it's time to fill the private key, which is your wallet private key. So go again to the browser, onto your MetaMask, and here enter your password, and in these 3 dots here on account details, export private key. Here, if you type your password, you will find the private key. So I'm not gonna show you my private key, but do that and copy it. And when you have copied, paste it here. Save this and we're good to go. So now it's time to finally deploy the smart contract. So open your terminal, and here on instructions, you will find here the commands that we need to run. So just copy this one. We're gonna clean the project first. These are very short commands, so we can actually type it. npx hardhat compile. Compiling here, successfully compiled,
And now we're gonna copy this one to run. Okay, we're gonna run the deploy.js script that will then deploy the contract. So paste this one here and enter. This one is gonna take a little bit, so let's see you guys in just some seconds. Nice. Here we have our contract deployed. This is the contract address. This is the password. Well, this is the hashed password. Melon has converted to this, okay? And here we can see, if we click here, we will see the contract on Polygon Scan automatically. So let's go here. You see that the contract is verified, so that's very, very, very nice. And here we have the API that we will need later also. The source code, and also we could even run the OpenGates function from here. And we would see the events later on here. But yeah, this is it for deploying the smart contract. As we said in the beginning, the game manager is the main script in this project and will take care of the interaction with the contract. So open it and you'll see that it needs the contract address and the contract API. So let's fill that first. Go back to Polygon Scan and here copy the contract address, paste it here. And for the contract API, you will find it here. So copy it, go to JSON formatter, .org, and paste it here, minify, compact, and click here, then Control F, quotes, we'll find all the quotes, and we will replace it by the contrabar and quotes, okay? Important. And we'll replace all. Then, perfect. Then we will copy all, go back to Game Manager, and paste it here. So before continuing with the Game Manager, we need to set up a very important thing in the Moralis admin panel, which is listening to the correct password event of the contract. So go to the admin panel. Here on the server, view details, sync, click on add new sync, and sync and watch contract events. Here we're going to select the Polygon Mumbai. We're going to create a description, Moria Gates, correct password, event. And for the topic, if you remember, if you go to the contract, this is the event, right? So copy this, go back to the panel, paste it here, and we just need to type, well, to set the type here. So it's correct password and it's passing a bool. That's the topic of the event. And for the API, go to the JSON formatter where we have the, let's go to the API, copy it again on the Polygon Scan, paste it here. And this here, if you need to find correct password, which is the name of the event here, and copy this part here. So this is the API of the event. So copy it and go to the panel again and paste it here under API. Perfect. And for address, go to Polygon Scan again and copy the contract address. Paste it here. And for the table name, this is very important, okay? Go to Game Manager again. And if we go to the beginning, here we have a Moralis object called Moria Gates event. Okay, so because we will be subscribing to this table that we're going to create now, we need this table to be named as the same as this Moralis object here. So every time an event gets populated in the database, we will get an object of this class in Unity. So copy this name, okay, Moria Gates event, go here and paste it. So this, remember, needs to be exactly the same. Click on confirm, and voila, here we have our server listening to the event of the smart contract that we just deployed. Perfect. So just to test this, if we now go to Polygon Scan, to the contract page, and here under contract and write contract, we're going to connect with our MetaMask, and we're going to say friend, and we're going to call opengates function, passing this parameter, friend. Going to write, confirm the transaction, and here under view transaction, after some seconds, we're going to see the result. Okay, so the transaction was confirmed, and here, if we click on logs, we're going to see the events, right? The events that we just triggered, correct password, and it's the result is false because we didn't answer correctly the password. So now that we triggered this event, if we go back to the Moralis admin and we go to view details, here on the arrow and dashboard, we're gonna see a new table here called Moria Gates event. And that's right, this is the event that we just triggered. So we successfully listened it in our Moralis server. And if we go here, we'll see that has this column called result, okay, with the result, in this case, false. So how do we do this in Unity is what we're gonna learn now. So what happens in Unity is that when we authenticate, here we call the start game function in Game Manager. So if we go to Game Manager and find a start game, we will see that apart from subscribing to the database table that we just created, we also activate the password panel. So this password panel has an enter button here that also call a function from Game Manager called opengates. So we go to Game Manager and find opengates. This is the function that does the magic, okay? This function, through this private other method called call contract function, go there, does the magic by calling the contract function opengates. So we're passing the contract address that we just filled, the contract ABA, the name of the function here. If you remember, opengates, this is the name of the function, and the input field password that we enter here as a parameter. So in Unity, if we activate this panel, we'll see this password, this input field password, is the one that we're passing as a parameter here. All right, so once that's done, we need to listen to the event, okay? So how we do this is by, in this method, subscribe to database events, we create a query with the name of the table, right? Moria Gates event. And then we also create some callbacks, and we're subscribing to these callbacks. So every time a new event is populated on the database, we're gonna handle contract event response. We're gonna call this function. So if we go to this function, we're basically listening. Well, we're getting the new event. So we're getting this Moralis object, and we're getting the result, right? The result is the column, the column with the value, if it's the password it's correct or not. So depending on if it's correct, we're gonna activate the correct panel or the incorrect panel. It's so easy. And after this,
we're gonna start the coroutine. We'll call this do something, because here you could do whatever you want. In this case, depending on the result. Also, we're gonna load the same scene, but here you could load the scene of the game. For example, the scene inside Moria. Or here, if the password was not correct, we're just setting, we're deactivating the incorrect panel and activating again the password panel, so the user has to type the password again. So that's how easy it is in Unity using Moralis to interact with the smart contracts and listen to events. Alright, so as promised, now it's time to test this on WebGL. You could test this also on the editor on any other platform, but yeah, let's actually test this on WebGL. So go to File, Build Settings, switch to WebGL platform. Remember, you need to have this installed on the Unity editor, and this will take, it's been very fast. This is because the project sample is it's not very big. And after this, go to Player Settings. And here you will need to select the Moralis WebGL template. Probably it's already selected, but if not, make sure you select this, Moralis WebGL. All right, so once this is done, go back here, click on Build. I already have a builds folder, so create one or with another name as you want, but I usually use this. Select this. And this is gonna take a while. So see you guys in a moment. Okay, so I always click build first, but actually to see it on the browser, we have to click build and run. So let's click on build and run, and let's wait a bit, and this will be running in the web browser in some seconds. Okay, so here we are in the browser. So let's click on connect. Sign with MetaMask. And here we have a speak, friend, and enter panel. So let's try to enter, but let's type an incorrect password. I'm going to type Elon here. I'm going to click on enter. I'm going to confirm the transaction. And waiting for the contract event, this should be incorrect. So the incorrect panel should appear here. And yes, we're going to try again. Thanks. And I'm going to type melon, which is the correct password, and the Elvish word for friend. Clicking on enter. Confirming. And this, guys, should be correct. Nice. So the gates are opening and we are entering to Moria. All right, so this is it for this video. I hope you liked it. And remember to subscribe and also watch some of my other videos about Unity Web3 programming. And let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. But I tell you that next project is going to be epic. So keep that in mind. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.